Antwar.io. It's an IO game that was released in 2018, reached its peak in 2020, and shut down briefly in the same year. Now in 2021, it's back in the development phase, and it's better than before. I personally started playing it in 2020 at the beginning of my university years until it shut down. It's simple, accessible, fun for friends and family. So as a returning player, I bring you this comprehensive guide to Antwar.io. Unlike other modern games, you don't need a killer gaming PC, 32 gigs, NVIDIA or AMD graphics, RGB or any of that stuff. All you really need is a regular computer, basic internet, and your favorite internet browser like Chrome, Firefox, or Opera GX, which this video is sadly not sponsored by. You then want to navigate to Antwar.io or dev.antwar.io, create an account, sign in, and you're ready to go to war as ants. Also, you can play this on a tablet or a phone, but I highly don't recommend it. Alright, now once you've signed into your Antwar.io account, you can see that on the left side here we have a few tabs. The first one is our profile tab where we can manage our username, edit our profile, see our rank, or sign out. And next is the play tab, and this is where you're going to be spending most of your gameplay time on. As you can see here, we have the server selector. Currently in the development phase, there's only North America. The play online button, which is going to direct you to a random server. The game list, which allows you to see how many servers there are, how many people are in the servers, if the game is currently ongoing. And on the bottom here, if we scroll down, we get our single player tab. Alright, the tutorial is here, but I'm not going to show it to you guys. You guys can check it out if you want. Skirmish is basically playing single player against bots, and Sandbox allows you to experiment and check out all the game features as it's getting updated. The changelog here is it's changelog, and the wiki is here, although it's kind of outdated. Someone please fix this. Next we have the shop tab, which in the older version of Antwar.io, you could purchase skins here using online currency and a bunch of other cosmetics. The Friends tab, which is also, I believe, under development, although there is a link to their Discord here, which I will put in the description. And finally, the leaderboard of the top 25 players globally, I'm assuming. Wait, am I even here? Oh man, I'm not here. But anyways, oh, Nant is the first guy. I've seen this guy in my games. Definitely shout out to you if you've ever seen me in your games. And with that, I'm going to show you Skirmish for this demonstration. Alright, jumping into Skirmish, here we go. You might get an ad here, but hopefully this is not the case today. And yep, nice. Alright, so when we first started into our game, if you are a team leader, you will start as a queen ant. And let's go over the controls. Left click is to let you do basic movement, or you can use the WASD keys if you feel more comfortable with that. If your game is running smooth, that's fantastic. If it's not, you want to open up the settings on the top right. Open up your graphics quality and put it to low, and that should fix your stuttering or you have a latency or anything like that. Alright, now when you first start off as a queen, you are flying, so you want to right click on a spot that to land. And choosing a spot to land is pretty important, as let me explain the basics of the map. As you can see here on the map, there is certain indicators to what lies below the ground. The ground above, we usually refer to it as the overworld or above ground. And I'll probably edit this in, but let's go over the land types. First, we have the moist ground. Alright, then we have the dry ground, as you can see here, indicated by these cracks of sandy places. And once we right click on the ground, we'll land on the ground, and let's set up our nest with another right click. So for simplicity's sake, let's just plop it down right here. Alright, now we've plopped it down, and by chance we have just gotten a grub. I'll explain that later, but for now, once we've gotten into the underground, you can see here the soil we can identify the soil by how they look. For example, right here is a moist ground, and you generally want to put your queen on it. Gee, that was an in-game Thunderstrike. I thought it was a real Thunderstrike. Alright, and let's find an example of dry ground here. Alright, as we know, our left click is our movement, so our right click automatically becomes our interact key. If you right click soil, you can uncover the dirt, and you can just right click outside the nest to get rid of it. And as you can see here, we uncovered a bit more moist soil, but we really need to find the dry soil. So I want to burrow downwards here, because that's where it says the dry soil is. Down, as you can see here, here's our nest. It's indicated by a hole. You want to go down to the left to reach the dry soil. I believe it should be right here. Alright, no, it's not right there. Maybe a little bit further. There we go, dry soil. Okay, now, as we know, moist soil is used to put our eggs and as well as any kind of larvae. So Dry soil is for the opposite purpose. We want to put our food and generally our resources over there. Alright, now let's go over our command wheel. If you left click your own ant, you will see we bring up this command wheel and they are binded to our numpad, or generally just numbers above your WASD keys. You got numpad 1, which is +5 follow, numpad 2, which is +1 follow, dismiss on 3, and switch on 4. To demonstrate all these, I'm going to do it all now. First, if we hit the 1 key, you can see all the ants start following us. And if you hit 3, you dismiss them again and they no longer follow you. If you hit 4 and you left click another ant, you can switch to any ant that you want, even the queen, although only the team leader has access to the queen. Alright, now the first task after you set up your nest should be to gather all your ants in search of food. Alright, let's go. Oh, nice. There's a dead beetle right here, and we have encountered our first class of food, which is the red food. Alright, basically you dismiss all your ants around the red food and they should grab the food back to the base. And running around the map, as you can see, we have different kinds of leaves and terrain which you can hide under, hide from opponents, hide from other kinds of predators. Alright, and now that it's raining, it's a perfect opportunity to show you about the water droplet. Alright, now the water droplet, you can bring it back into your nest, and the purpose of the water droplet is you can put it on the regular soil, the soil that's not dry or wet. You right click on the ground and you can turn regular soil into moist soil. More breeding grounds, I like to say. Alright, recording kind of crashed, so I'm going to continue off here. Alright, after the red food, we're going to talk about green food, and conveniently there are some right here. So let's just burrow our way to it. Throw some of the dirt out. Alright, and now after picking up the green food, we'll talk about the brood cube, but for now, here is green food. As you can see, some of our ants are already taking it and frantically reordering it. Cool. Alright, then if you are the team leader, on the top left here you can see you have the brood queue. Since we only have access to green food right now, we're just gonna click on nanitics and they should queue up the nanitics. And as you can see here, the queen does have an icon for green food, or otherwise known as vegetation, and the bot ants are getting to work on it. Alright. Oh, nice, perfect. Let's grab our ant buddies right here. Select all of them using 1. And let's attack these guys. You just dismiss all your ants around. This is a gray bug, I like to call it. And it generally, once you kill it, it gives you like red food, otherwise known as ham, as we saw earlier. And there's actually more green food here. Perfect, actually. Let's grab these, and yeah, things are going really smoothly. Alright, now that we have both green and red food, we can actually go queue up the worker ant, which is a more efficient ant. And later on we can get to making the soldier and major, which we'll need the blue food, otherwise known as superfood, from. But they only drop from spiders and centipedes as far as I know. Alright, the rest of the green food has been collected. Fantastic. And let's see if we can go encounter any other insects. Alright, let's just make sure all our ants are together with us. Alright, we got 3. That's a decent amount. Oh wow, look at that. A bunch of green food just spawned out of nowhere. Like, yeah, they spawned out of nowhere. So just, if you're playing in a team, just generally have a guy who's just scouting around with a bunch of ants, just getting all the food possible. Because that way you can make like literally all the nanitics and workers in the world. And if you're the team leader, just make sure you're just queuing up these ants. But that's not really what we want to find now. As you can see here, we have a larvae and an egg. The egg turns into a larvae, then the larvae eventually becomes a full-blown ant. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky and find a predator, maybe. Or I guess they don't really show up that early. I'll probably make like a showdown screen of like what mobs you can encounter. Alright, for additional tips here, we didn't see this in the gameplay just now, but this is an aphid and a twig. Alright, in that picture you can see the aphid is the one that looks like an insect. The aphid basically gives you honeydew every once in a while. If you put it under a plant near your nest, it does generate food, so you might want to put it there for good use. And the twig, the one in the bottom right, that kind of looks like worms. It's the opposite of the water droplet, and it turns regular ground into dry ground. And next we move on to the spider and the centipede. Now these two are hostile insects that if you do encounter will try to kill you. However, if you have soldier and majors or generally just enough workers, you can overpower them, and this is where you get your superfood from. Alright, now that you guys are equipped with this knowledge, basically what you want to do in the game is just be the last queen standing. Once you have enough ants consisting of nanitics workers, soldiers, as well as majors, you just bring all of them, raid the enemy bases, kill their queen, and once you are the last queen standing, yeah, you basically win the game. And well, that's really all there is to antwar.io that I know of. Feel free to correct me or add any additional info down in the comments if you are a veteran player. You'll find all the links you could possibly need in the descriptions. Leave a like and subscribe, it really helps me out. And if you want more antwar.io content like advanced mechanics or maybe just recorded games, and do give the developer a thumbs up, I guess, because I do know the developer does care a lot about his game. He started it as a passion project, and generally the overload of requests, I believe, is what caused him to shut down the game. But now it's back up, and I look forward to his work and to support antwar.io as it goes on. Well, but for now, skitter on.